Question 1. What must you do if your eyesight has become very poor and you're no longer able to meet the driver's eyesight requirements? A. Tell the driver licensing authority. Having very poor eyesight will have a serious effect on your ability to drive safely. If you can't meet the driver's eyesight requirements, you must tell dvla, or dva in Northern Ireland. 52% people fail their theory test exam first time due to hazard perception test. Practice 44+ hazard videos licensed by dvsa 2024 by joining our membership.
Let's get back to the video.
Question 2. Why should drivers be more careful on roads where trams also operate? A. Because trams can't steer to avoid obstructions. You should take extra care when you first encounter trams. You'll have to get used to dealing with a different traffic system. Be aware that trams can accelerate and travel very quickly, and they can't change direction to avoid obstructions. Question 3. What should you do when you leave your car unattended for a few minutes? B. Lock it and remove the key. Always switch off the engine, remove the key and lock your car, even if you're only leaving it for a few minutes. Question 4. What should you do to reduce the risk of your vehicle catching fire? B. Check out any strong smell of fuel. The fuel in your vehicle can be a dangerous fire hazard. If you smell fuel, check out where it's coming from. 1. Never use a naked flame near the vehicle if you can smell fuel. Smoke when refueling your vehicle. Question 5. You're driving a car that has a diesel engine. What can a loose filler cap on your fuel tank cause? D. It can make the road slippery for other road users. Diesel fuel can spill out if your filler cap isn't secured properly. This is most likely to occur on bends, junctions, and roundabouts, where it will make the road slippery, especially if it's wet. At the end of a spell of dry weather, road surfaces may be especially slippery where diesel has been spilled but it hasn't been washed away by rain. Question 6. What does this motorway sign mean? D. Temporary maximum speed 50 miles per hour. Look out for signs above your lane or on the central reservation. These will give you important information or warnings about the road ahead. To allow for the high speed of motorway traffic, these signs may light up some distance from any hazard. Don't ignore the signs just because the road looks clear to you. Question 7. When may you drive a car in this bus lane? A. Outside its hours of operation. Some bus lanes operate only during peak hours and other vehicles may use them outside these hours. Make sure you check the sign for the hours of operation before driving in a bus lane. Question 8. What's likely to happen if you use a hands-free phone while you're driving? It will divert your attention. Talking to someone while you're driving can distract you and, unlike when someone is in the car with you, the person on the other end of a mobile phone is unable to see the traffic situations you're dealing with. They won't stop speaking to you even if you're approaching a hazardous situation. You need to concentrate on your driving at all times. Question 9. How can you reduce the chances of your car being broken into when leaving it unattended? D. Take all valuables with you. When leaving your car, take all valuables with you if you can. Otherwise, lock them out of sight. Question 10. Your vehicle breaks down on a motorway and you manage to stop on the hard shoulder. What should you do if you use your mobile phone to call for help? A. Check your location from the nearest marker posts beside the hard shoulder. You should use an emergency telephone when you break down on the motorway. Only use your mobile if this isn't possible. The emergency services need to know your exact location so they can reach you as quickly as possible. Look for a number on the nearest marker post beside the hard shoulder. Give this number when you call the emergency services. Question 11. What does this sign mean? C. Vehicles may park fully on the verge or footway. In order to keep roads free from parked cars, there are some areas where you're allowed to park on the verge. Only do this where you see the sign. Parking on verges or footways anywhere else could lead to a fine. Question 12. You're parked in a busy high street. What's the safest way to turn your vehicle around so you can drive in the opposite direction? D. Turn around in a quiet side road. Make sure you carry out the maneuver without causing a hazard to other vehicles. Choose a place to turn that's safe and considers other road users. Question 13. How can you make sure that a satellite navigation (sat-nav) system doesn't distract you when you're driving? C. Set it before starting your journey. Sat-navs can be useful when driving on unfamiliar routes. However, they can also distract you and cause you to lose control if you look at or adjust them while you're driving. Set the sat-nav before starting your journey, or pull up in a safe place before making any changes to it. Question 14. What's the legal minimum tread depth for tires on your trailer or caravan? B. 1.6 millimeters. Trailers and caravans may be left in storage over the winter months, and tires can deteriorate. It's important to check their tread depth and also their pressures and general condition. The legal tread depth of 1.6 mm applies to the central 3/4 of a tire's breadth over its entire circumference. Question 15. What does this sign mean? B. Two-way traffic crosses a one-way road. Be prepared for traffic approaching from junctions on either side of you. Try to avoid unnecessary changing of lanes just before the junction. Question 16. You're driving past parked cars. What should you do if you see a bicycle wheel sticking out between the cars? C. Slow down and be prepared to stop for a cyclist. Scan the road as you drive. Try to anticipate hazards by being aware of the places where they're likely to occur. You'll then be able to react in good time. Question 17. What would you expect to find at a contraflow system on a motorway? A. Lower speed limits. When approaching a contraflow system, reduce speed in good time and obey all speed limits. You may be traveling in a narrower lane than normal, with no permanent barrier between you and the oncoming traffic. Be aware that the hard shoulder may be used for traffic and the road ahead could be obstructed by slow-moving or broken-down vehicles. Question 18. Are passengers allowed to ride in a caravan that's being towed? A. No, not at any time. Riding in a towed caravan is highly dangerous. The safety of the entire unit is dependent on the stability of the trailer. Moving passengers would make the caravan unstable and could cause loss of control. Question 19. Which driving technique can help you save fuel? B. Missing out some gears. Missing out intermediate gears, when appropriate, helps to reduce the amount of time spent accelerating and decelerating, the times when your vehicle uses the most fuel. Question 20. You're leaving your vehicle parked on a road and unattended. When may you leave the engine running? C. Never if you're away from the vehicle. When you leave your vehicle parked on a road, switch off the engine and secure the vehicle. Make sure no valuables are visible, shut all the windows, lock the vehicle, and set the alarm if the vehicle has one. Question 21. What does this sign mean? C. Contraflow system. If you use the right-hand lane in a contraflow system, you'll be traveling with no permanent barrier between you and the oncoming traffic. Observe speed limits and keep a good distance from the vehicle ahead. Question 22. How should the right-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway be used? D. As an overtaking lane. You should stay in the left-hand lane of a motorway unless you're overtaking another vehicle. The right-hand lane of a motorway is an overtaking lane, it isn't the fast lane. After overtaking, move back to the left when it's safe to do so. Question 23. What's the national speed limit on a single carriageway road? C. 60 miles per hour. If you're traveling on a dual carriageway that becomes a single carriageway road, Reduce your speed gradually so that you aren't exceeding the limit as you enter. There might not be a sign to remind you of the limit, so make sure you know the speed limits for different types of road and vehicle. Question 24. What's a rumble device designed to do? A. Alert you to a hazard. A rumble device consists of raised markings or strips, designed to give drivers an audible, visual, and tactile warning. These devices are used in various locations, including in the line separating the hard shoulder and the left-hand lane on the motorway and on the approach to some hazards, to alert drivers to the need to slow down. Question 25. What does this white arrow on the road mean? C. Return to your side of the road. The arrow indicates the direction in which to pass hatch markings or double white lines. If you're overtaking, you must return to the left-hand side of the road. Question 26. How would underinflated tires affect your vehicle? D. The vehicle's stopping distance would increase. Your tires are your only contact with the road. To prevent problems with braking and steering, keep your tires free from defects. They must have sufficient tread depth and be correctly inflated. Correct tire pressures help reduce the risk of skidding and provide a safer and more comfortable drive or ride. Question 27. Where would you expect to see these markers? B. On a large goods vehicle. These markers must be fitted to vehicles over 13 meters long, large goods vehicles, and rubbish skips placed in the road. They're reflective to make them easier to see in the dark. Question 28. You see a pedestrian carrying a white stick that also has a red band. What does this mean? D. They're deaf and blind. When someone is deaf as well as blind, they may carry a white stick with a red reflective band or bands. They may not be aware that you're approaching and they may not be able to hear anything. So, for example, your horn would be ineffective as a warning to them. Question 29. Why do motorcyclists use dipped headlights in daylight? A. So that the rider can be seen more easily. A motorcycle can be lost from sight behind another vehicle. The use of headlights helps to make it more conspicuous and therefore more easily seen. Question 30. You're traveling behind a bus. What should you do if it pulls up at a bus stop? B. Look for pedestrians. People may be running to catch the bus, or passengers leaving the bus might wish to cross the road in front of the bus. Look out for them if you intend to go past it. Consider how many people are waiting to get on the bus, check the queue if you can. The bus might move off straight away if no one is waiting to get on. If a bus is signaling to pull out, give it priority if it's safe to do so. Question 31. Which sign means no motor vehicles allowed? B. This sign is used to enable pedestrians to walk free from traffic. It's often found in shopping areas. Question 32. Why is it important to make full use of the slip road as you join a motorway? D. To allow you to fit safely into the traffic flow in the left-hand lane. Try to join the motorway without affecting the progress of the traffic in the left-hand lane, and always give way to traffic already on the motorway. At busy times, you may have to slow down to merge into slow-moving traffic. Question 33. What should you do if you have to make a journey in foggy conditions? D. Leave plenty of time for your journey. If you're planning to make a journey when it's foggy, listen to the weather reports. If visibility is very poor, avoid making unnecessary journeys. If you do travel, leave plenty of time, and if someone is waiting for you to arrive, let them know that your journey will take longer than normal. This will also take off any pressure you may feel to rush. Question 34. You're driving at the legal speed limit. What should you do if the vehicle behind approaches quickly, flashing its headlights? B. Allow the vehicle to overtake. Don't enforce the speed limit by blocking another vehicle's progress. This will only lead to the other driver becoming more frustrated. Allow the other vehicle to pass when you can do so safely. Question 35. You're waiting at a level crossing. What must you do if a train passes but the lights keep flashing? A. Carry on waiting. If the lights at a level crossing keep flashing after a train has passed, you should continue to wait, because another train might be coming. Time seems to pass slowly when you're held up in a queue. Be patient and wait until the lights stop flashing. Question 36. Your vehicle is stationary. When may you use its horn? A. When another road user poses a danger. When your vehicle is stationary, only sound the horn if you think there's a risk of danger from another road user. Don't use it just to attract someone's attention. This causes unnecessary noise and could be misleading. Question 37. You see this amber traffic light ahead. Which light, or lights, will come on next? A. Red alone. At junctions controlled by traffic lights, you must stop behind the white line until the lights change to green. A red light, an amber light, and red and amber lights showing together all mean stop. You may proceed when the light is green unless your exit road is blocked or pedestrians are crossing in front of you. If you're approaching traffic lights that are visible from a distance and the light has been green for some time, be ready to slow down and stop, because the lights are likely to change. Question 38. Why are these yellow lines painted across the road? C. To make you aware of your speed. These lines are often found on the approach to a roundabout or a dangerous junction. They give you extra warning to adjust your speed. Look well ahead and do this in good time. Question 39. What type of vehicle could you expect to meet in the middle of the road? C. Lorry. The highest point of the bridge is in the center, so a large vehicle might have to move to the center of the road to have enough room to pass safely under the bridge. Question 40. Which vehicles should use the left-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway? A. Any vehicle that isn't overtaking. On a motorway, all traffic should use the left-hand lane unless overtaking. When overtaking a number of slower vehicles, move back to the left-hand lane when you're safely passed. Check your mirrors frequently and don't stay in the middle or right-hand lane if the left-hand lane is free. Question 41. Your vehicle breaks down on a motorway and you need to call for help. Why might it be better to use an emergency roadside telephone rather than a mobile phone? A. It allows easy location by the emergency services. On a motorway, it's best to use a roadside emergency telephone so that the emergency services are able to find you easily. The location of the nearest telephone is shown by an arrow on marker posts at the edge of the hard shoulder. If you use a mobile, find out the number on the nearest marker post before you call. This number will let the operator know where you are and in which direction you're traveling. Question 42. When should you use the right-hand lane of a 3-lane dual carriageway? B. When you're overtaking or turning right. You should normally use the left-hand lane on any dual carriageway unless you're overtaking or turning right. When overtaking on a dual carriageway, look for vehicles ahead that are turning right. They may be slowing or stopped. You need to see them in good time so that you can take appropriate action. Question 43. What shape is a stop sign? D. To make it easy to recognize, the stop sign is the only sign of this shape. You must stop and take effective observation before proceeding. Question 44. When will your vehicle use more fuel? D. When its tires are underinflated. Check your tire pressures frequently, normally once a week. If they're lower than those recommended by the manufacturer, there will be more rolling resistance. The engine will have to work harder to overcome this, leading to increased fuel consumption. Question 45. Powered vehicles used by disabled people are small and can be hard to see. What must they display if they're traveling on a dual carriageway? A. Flashing amber beacon. Powered vehicles used by disabled people are small and low, making them hard to see on the road. They also travel very slowly. On an unrestricted dual carriageway, they must display a flashing amber beacon to warn other road users of their presence. Question 46. What should you do while you're driving or riding along a motorway? B. Look much further ahead than you would on other roads. Traffic on motorways usually travels faster than on other roads. You need to be looking further ahead to give yourself more time to react to any hazard that may develop. Question 47. You plan your route before starting a journey. Why should you also plan an alternative route? D. Your original route may be blocked. It can be frustrating and worrying to find your planned route is blocked by roadworks or diversions. If you've planned an alternative, you'll feel less stressed and more able to concentrate fully on your driving or riding. If your original route is mostly on motorways, it's a good idea to plan an alternative using non-motorway roads. Always carry a map with you just in case you need to refer to it. Question 48. What's the maximum fine for driving without insurance? A. Unlimited. Driving without insurance is a serious offense. As well as an unlimited fine, you may be disqualified or incur penalty points. Question 49. What does this sign mean? C. Minimum speed 30 miles per hour. This sign is shown where slow-moving vehicles would impede the flow of traffic, for example, in tunnels. However, if you need to slow down or even stop to avoid an incident or potential collision, you should do so. Question 50. How will a police officer in a patrol vehicle signal for you to stop? A. Flash the headlights, indicate left and point to the left. You must obey signals given by the police. If a police officer in a patrol vehicle wants you to pull over, they'll indicate this without causing danger to you or other traffic. 52% people fail their theory test exam first time due to hazard perception test. Practice 44+ hazard videos licensed by dvsa 2024 by joining our membership.